Welcome to Primary ypww Lesson 2. I do not own the rights to this music. Today's topic is, Thou shalt have no other gods before me. The lesson scripture is coming out of Daniel chapter 4, verses 24 through 34. The memory verse is Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. The target for today's lesson: the Lord wants His children to know that He is the one true God and that they should serve no other. Long ago, there was a king of Babylon named Nebuchadnezzar. He is the same king that threw 3 Hebrew boys in a flaming fiery furnace. They would not fall down to worship the king when music was played in the kingdom. It made the king very mad. But the 3 men were determined to worship only God. They were very faithful to God. The Lord protected them and delivered them from the fire. The king made a decree in the kingdom. He was amazed at the power of God. He commanded that no one could hurt the 3 men. He said, "There is no other God that can deliver after this sort." But the story does not end there. The king had a dream and shared it with all the people. The king's dream made him very upset. He searched throughout the kingdom for someone to interpret it. Daniel was a faithful man of God. He was able to tell the king what God was going to do. Daniel said, "O king, I wish the dream was for your enemies and not you. Your kingdom is great, but God will drive you away from other humans, and you shall live like an animal, and with the animals." King Nebuchadnezzar said, "This is great Babylon. I have built this great kingdom by my power and for the honor of my majesty." He took credit for God's work. While he was speaking, the same hour, he was driven from the kingdom and he lived like a wild animal. King Nebuchadnezzar had worshipped false gods. He also made the people bow down and worship him. When music played, the people would have to stop whatever they were doing and worship the king. He was making himself their God. This displeased the Lord, and God punished him. Nebuchadnezzar's hair grew like eagle's feathers, and his fingernails were like birds' claws. After 7 years, his mind immediately came back, and he was well again. Returning to the kingdom, he praised God. God had to show the king that he alone was God. The king claimed that he built the kingdom by his power and everything he had was gained by his own strength. He was wrong. The questions for today's lesson: Number 1, why did the king throw 3 boys in a flaming furnace? And who did they worship only? Number 2, what happened to the king when he forced the people to worship him instead of God? The end. God bless you and thank you for joining me today.